Greetings and peace to you all. My name is Umi. Thank you guys for joining me for another video. So today I wanted to briefly discuss, someone had sent me an email about how it is that they can protect their energy. And so at first I was like, oh, there's so many videos on YouTube and books and things about protection, psychic protection, and, how to safeguard your energy. However, I understand that, all of us are individuals, and some people's method at protecting themselves, their energy body, is different than others. So I will share my perspective and my experience with protection, energy protection, as well as psychic protection, especially since, doing sessions and talking to people a lot about their problems in their life and absorbing a lot. There is a particular means that I go about safeguarding myself as well as cleansing my energy body. So I did a video a while ago on the physical body, energy body, light body, God body. I'll post a link to that in the description. And I actually have to refer back to this video quite often because even though I was the one speaking, it was as if I was relaying a message. And so sometimes I go back to certain videos and just receive the information for myself. Like, okay, I needed that reminder, because the physical world, our third dimensional reality, can be very dense. It could be heavy. It could weigh us down. And so if you can imagine you dove into some water, and as you start to swim up to the surface, something seems to be pulling you down. Maybe there feels like there's an anchor around your ankle, and as hard as you're swimming, as much as you're all the effort you're putting into surfacing, you're just not getting there. So it is important that we pay attention to what in our life serves as that anchor. This is different than being grounded and being level-headed. I mean, you're trying to get to the surface for air and light and life. But if something's weighing us down, this could be quite literally the food that we're eating, physical food, as well as the spiritual food. For people who are just now embarking on a spiritual journey, the internet is an overwhelming place to try and learn about yourself, to try and discover certain truths, to awaken, based on certain knowledge and information. It can be overwhelming as well as very misleading. Many people are operating in some form of self-deception, meaning that they're convincing themselves, of what they believe or what they think, even if it's not in their highest good, even if it's keeping them in a limited way of thinking, very rigid, very judgmental or dogmatic. So these particular behaviors and attitudes that we develop in life, it can be quite emotionally difficult to let go of certain things. So some people are choosing to hold on to that very thing that's kind of weighing them down and making them feel like they're sinking. So you have to ask yourself, is there anything in my life that is weighing me down? Is it a belief? Is it a person? Is it the physical or spiritual food that I'm consuming? Have I gotten in touch with some knowledge or information that wasn't good for me? Maybe it's got me really questioning things and feeling confused and disoriented spiritually. Nothing that you should be tuning into should really confuse you. It should ring true for you if it's something that's meant for you. Like, oh, okay, I get that, or I resonate with that, or that feels true for me. Not convenient, not comfortable, as in many people can find a particular church that just happens to meet their unique lifestyle. And so they're like, this is great. It's not that kind of thing. Again, we don't want to live in self-deception. We want to be true and honest about who we are and where we're trying to go. You also have to consider your environment. Are there things within your environment you need to let go of? Just, again, basic stuff. Sometimes things are so simple we overlook it and don't act upon it. Is your environment clean? Are the things that you've accumulated or collected, do they have any ties or associations with your past that you're willing to let go of? Because we want to be free and sort of light when it comes to our energy. I've literally come in contact with people where I just could sense their energy. I could sense some type of vampire presence within them that was very sinister and dark, and I couldn't quite put my finger on it. But just the ability to kind of sense that some people are walking around with a lot of heavy energy from maybe things they've seen, they've exposed themselves to. Some people study demonology or into Satanism or into just different things that really weigh the soul down. And so that light body is less and less visible, and they can be very dark in terms of their aura. They can be very dark in terms of how they look and how they project themselves. And so for some of you, you may have been exposed to certain individuals. You may have been intimate with certain individuals. And so your energy body can feel weighed down because of that. This is when doing a cleanse is necessary, whether you do it through baths, whether you work with essential oils and you're cleansing your hair and your auric field by eating clean foods, raw foods, drinking water, keeping your hair and your body, the hygiene in check, keeping your environment in check. Dark energies can't thrive or even survive when your space is clean, when your space is uplifted, when you play certain music and vibratory frequencies in your home. If you're listening to trap music and heavy metal and things talking about murder and sex and drugs, and then you're trying to be spiritual, between 3 and 4 o'clock, it's not going to work, my friend. You have to make sure that what you're doing and practicing is in alignment with how you're living. Another important thing here is to, again, know your authority. What is your authority in life? Many people want to claim the Bible as their authority, but then they venture off and wander off into all these different belief systems and practices, and they're curious about certain things. Let me explain something. Being curious about a thing doesn't mean that it's for you. Because you think you're interested in it or it resonates with you, it doesn't mean it's for you. A lot of people love to watch CSI, but they damn sure couldn't go and become a crime scene investigator themselves. So the entertainment is one thing, and actually living that life is something totally different. So don't be entertained by the occult. Don't be entertained by metaphysics and these things, because they can be potentially dangerous. People want to go off and start practicing things they've read, looking into demonology and necromancy and these things. And this is really literally will take you out. So don't dabble in something just for the sheer interest of your curiosity, or even recognizing your motivation may be power. Being empowered and wanting power is two different things. This is why it's important we know the why behind what it is we're doing. Are you seeking to be spiritually empowered so you can set boundaries? You can have a good, positive routine for yourself. You can study and interpret knowledge and integrate it in your life. Or are you seeking power because you want to manipulate people? You want to say what you can do. You want to present yourself as something that you're not. So understanding the why is another way to safeguard your energy so that you're not a magnet to all the wrong people, all the wrong activities. You're not a magnet for environments that are unclean. Another way that I safeguard my energy, especially before and after sessions, is that I make it a point to bathe, to just keep my physical body clean, because bacteria, parasites, dust and dirt and these things do carry their own energy. They carry their own resonance. So you may think it's not a big deal, that you don't have to necessarily shower before or after certain environments and spaces, when you do, because the body can pick up certain debris that can be energetically toxic for you. So for me, I will do that. If not before or after that, I will do my bathing rituals. I do burn candles. I do burn incense. I do open my window. I do keep my space, at least this space, as clean as I can. I have children, so what goes on the other side of the house, I'll get to it when I get to it. But it's very important that the space where I live, or I work, not where I live, where I sleep, where I work, where I'm having my most private and intimate moments, I keep this space clean. So that is another thing, is to keep the body, the hygiene in check. Taking the time to engage with the elements. This is why I'm doing the series on the elements, because today in Mississippi, it's supposed to be a relatively nice day, maybe in the 60s or so. So I may go to the beach and just walk along the shore. I may just be outside listening to my children laugh, spending time in the sun. This lightens my load. It lightens my energy body, so I'm not weighed down by something someone told me, some energy I picked up from, some disturbing information, or just focusing on other people's business and lives. I have to go and do me, be in my own space. I did have a friend, thank you to Special Deposit, who gifted me a spectralite, which I wear. Oftentimes I'll even wear it to bed. I do wear tiger's eye. I wear certain things like copper or brass to enhance my auric field. This is not going to work for everybody. Some people feel like, oh, it's just a rock, it's just some jewelry, it's an inanimate object. So if that's not something that you believe, or you feel to be true in terms of wearing certain crystals or stones, or sa or jewelry on the body, then don't do it. But for me, that's something that has worked. Again, because I have locks, which can definitely pick up some energy. It is important that every so often I just kind of ritualistically cleanse my locks, maybe using coconut milk and rinsing it, putting essential oils like lavender or oil of oregano or some more potent oil that I dilute in order to ward off just energy. It's like I can smell it and I know it's in my hair, and it serves a very unique purpose. Another way to safeguard your energy is to know when to kind of call it quits. Know when to shut everything down, when to stop watching videos, when to stop reading more material, when to just be still. This is very important because we can take on more than we can handle. We can bite off more than we can chew sometimes. And when I did the video on the divine feminine, I talked a lot about the importance of milk. And as much as we feel, well, I'm 30, I'm 40, I'm 50, we feel like we're so mature, we may not be mature on a soul level. So your age doesn't necessarily define your ability to receive and digest knowledge and to actually apply it in your life. So this is not entertainment. This needs to be a way in which you're integrating changes in your life, to improve your family's lives, to improve your environment. There has to be an objective. There has to, again, be a why behind what you're doing. So if you're just overindulging in content, information, and knowledge, or you're oversharing, on this platform, I share a lot, but it's your choice to tune in versus you just sharing with family and friends. Maybe you're being rejected. Maybe you're being looked at funny. Maybe you're feeling as if, you're going crazy because people aren't listening or believing you. This can be potentially risky because it can take a toll on your sense of confidence, your sense of self-worth, and your, belief that you're even on the right path. You may feel that other people are not validating you enough, and so therefore you must be wrong. And I see this quite a bit, that people who are on a path that for them is going to lead them to liberation, peace, happiness, and just satisfaction in life, the moment they receive some opposition, the moment they feel as if their family or friends don't support them, they just veer off the path. They feel angry, they feel very defensive, and they feel like they've just done something so wrong. And so that need to constantly share can be met with some measure of rejection, which can take a toll on you energetically, emotionally, mentally. So just make sure you're not oversharing. Share what you want with people who can listen without judging you. So being very sensible and mindful about who you're communicating with, who you're opening up to. There are going to be times, just realistically speaking, I did a video again talking about message to healers, encouraging many people to step into their purpose. But I will say it's not always easy. You do get people that call you names or who say things that can make you question your path. And so this just comes with some experience and a little bit of just spiritual maturity that, okay, everyone's not going to agree with me. Some people are going to make me feel bad about what I'm choosing to do or how I'm choosing to live. But again, your environment, your sense of inner peace should all reflect how true your path is for you. Baby, I know eating healthy clears my skin up. I know when I take a nice shower and I got my oils and I'm doing my rituals for my body and my well-being, it lifts my spirit. You don't need someone to validate that, But for some of you, because this is new or you're newly embarking on your spiritual journey, it could just take one person to say, what the Bible say about astrology, and then you're just off in a corner somewhere feeling as if you've just let down the heavens and you're on the wrong path and everything's wrong in your life. The moment you begin to discover things about yourself that improve your way of life, that becomes a knowing. And you say, okay, I know that had I not discovered this knowledge about myself, I would still be depressed. I would still be living a certain way. I would still be forcing myself to attend, meetings that I don't belong in. So living in self-deception doesn't mean you're on the right path. That's just the truth about it. People can live in self-deception all they want and assume they're living, in accordance with their purpose, but can quickly find out that on the low, they're very depressed. They're unhappy. They feel that they're stuck in something that they don't belong as a part of. So I digress with that, but just make sure you are living in alignment with the things you're receiving and the food you're taking in, spiritual food you're taking in. Again, if you need to implement crystals, if you need to implement certain rituals like salt baths, if you need to spend time around water, adopt a plant, you need to burn candles. These are just things you can do in the physical environment to uplift yourself, to raise your vibration, your frequency, your energy body. Another powerful realization for me is that I realized that what I speak has power, and it came by way of like a hard lesson. So it wasn't like I was just speaking, manifesting things in my life and they just appeared because I spoke it. It came by way of negative things that I was speaking in my life, calling myself certain things or saying I'm broke or I'm tired or these things, like that began to be my reality. So it was an aha moment that, wait, sis, what you're speaking has power. You need to be mindful of what you're saying, what you're speaking to other people. The more I speak love, encouragement, support, power, empowerment, knowledge to others, that's what I would get back. The more I spoke things into my life with such reassurance, speaking those things just grounded them even more into my reality because it was coming from on high. It wasn't coming from beneath me, which is where the negative, toxic, heavy energies come. They come from under you and they pull you down. When you speak from this space, when you enter that God body and you start speaking positive things, loving things, encouraging, beneficial, abundance and prosperity and love, when you speak that and you're not just saying it because it sounds good, but you're speaking it as in so let it be, and so it is, it grounds more and more into your reality. That's the power of prayer. I pray. By all means, it's okay to pray. Like, speak over your life, pray, do your affirmations, these things, but you have to do it with conviction. And that may take some time to really feel that there's power in what you're speaking, especially if you don't, in the past, you haven't felt the results or you don't necessarily believe what you're saying. You have to know what you're saying is true. You have to believe it. So when I say my body is healthy, my mind is brilliant, my soul is tranquil, I'm successful, I'm secure, I'm not just reciting it. I'm telling you, I'm letting you know these things are true for me and I believe them to be true. And so therefore I embody that. It grounds more and more and more into my reality and I begin to see the results. So what you speak has power. You can defend yourself in this way as well. So you can protect your energy. When someone says something you don't resonate with, something negative towards you or at you, speak against it. Don't agree to it. Don't just allow it to penetrate you and you walk off feeling some type of way. No, ma'am. Sometimes you have to correct people right then and there. Otherwise, you're going to walk away with that sense of insecurity or needing to, validate what they've said in some way. And that's you wasting your energy on what someone else said. How about you validate your own truth in your life? Speak it and let it be so. Live by that and know the power in what you're saying and where it's coming from within you. So when things are coming from on high in our lives, we know it's unquestionable. It benefits us. It heals us. It lifts us up. When things are coming beneath us, we know it drags us down. It burdens us. It weighs us down. We feel internal conflict. We feel depressed. We feel heavy, period. So I wanted to share that with you all. I hope this information was useful. I always say take what you need and discard the rest. I'm interested to hear, how do some of you safeguard your energy body? What practices do you do? Is there anything that you turn to in moments where you feel really weighed down and burdened? So I am available for personal sessions. That information is in the description. Thank you guys again for tuning in. And until next time, peace.